Hi, welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a basic salve recipe. Now, I said salve with the L, and a lot of people say salve as a silent L, and mostly in the United States people do leave the L out, but in a lot of other parts of the world people do actually include the L. So either way you say it, salve or salve, you're still right. You might hear me use it interchangeably, as I often do. But this is the basic recipe. I'm going to actually make one with you, but if all you want are the basics, I'm going to give them to you now. You're going to want 1 part beeswax, 4 parts infused herbal oil, and then you can choose between some optional essential oils and vitamin E. I find that vitamin E slightly extends the life of a salve. Typically, infused oils last between 18 months and 2 years if they are properly stored and properly cared for. That goes for your finished product as well. So if you have a 2-year-old oil, I would say make a new oil, right? Don't make a new salve and expect it to last for another 2 years. That's probably not going to happen. No matter how good you are as an herbalist, oil is oil, and over time it does go rancid, no matter how nice you are to it. So that's the basic recipe. I will give you a couple of tips and tricks as we go along. So go ahead and stay tuned and stay till the end. And here's our basic things that we are going to need. We've got the vitamin E tabs. We have essential oils that I'm going to be using today. I have some jars. I like the glass jars. These are 2-ounce glass jars, and I know I'm going to need 5 for the particular recipe I'm making today. I've got some beeswax here. Now my beeswax comes from my beehives that I render the wax myself, but you can, find a source maybe locally with your local beekeeper, or you can buy it online if you have to. Then you're going to want something that's easily pourable, I like this because it pours nice. You're going to want something that's dedicated to your salves and balms because it is very hard to get the 100% of the wax residue off of these. So this is a dedicated measuring cup for that. And then I have this mason jar here. I have already pre-measured the oils that I'm going to be using today for the particular salve that I'm making. This is a dedicated glass that I use for this purpose. I use a mason jar because it is accustomed to high heat. And then in front of me here, I have a pan that is half full of water. And the purpose for that is to use as a double boiler, right? So we don't want to put our mason jar directly on the heat, but also we don't want to put the ingredients right into the pan because we'll never be able to use that pan for food cooking again, right? This is just the way that I like to do it. If you have a dedicated double boiler or, dedicated pan and you don't want to use this system, you don't have to. It's just how I do it. So I'm just showing you my way. There's lots of ways to do this right, you guys. So I don't want you to get stuck on this is the only way to do it, because it's not. All right, so once you have your oils measured out, I don't want to go too far into infused oils because if you've watched any of my videos, I've done tons and tons of videos on how to properly make an infused oil. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments and check out a couple of my other videos on the different herbs that I process. I think it'll answer all of your questions, but I am here for you and I do answer every single question on this channel. Once your oils are measured out, you're going to want to put your beeswax in. Now I know that this is 1 ounce of beeswax. It's how much I need for this particular recipe. I've weighed it already, so I know. You'll want to get a kitchen scale so that you can measure out your ingredients if you need to. Once it's in here, we're going to just pop over to the stove and I will meet you over there in a second. Now I've got our half full pan of water with our infused oils and the beeswax in its little mason jar on a medium-high heat. I'm going to let this water boil and allow the wax to completely melt before we go to the next stage. Everything is melted. I'll give you a little peek. If you add the essential oils beforehand while it's melting and the water on the outside is boiling, all of your essential oils are going to evaporate off and you're not going to have the scents that you're looking for. And then I just squeeze it in. And I know that each one has 5 drops. I've already pre-measured them before. And you don't want to just throw the whole tab in, right? You just want the insides of the vitamin E. For this particular recipe, I'm using 15 drops. I will talk to you at the very end about how much essential oil to put into your recipe, depending on what the volume is that you're using. Okay, now that the vitamin E and the essential oils have been added, we're going to want to put the very, very hot liquid oil and beeswax into your container that has a pouring spout on it. Make sure you get your mitts because this is very hot. And then after this, we're going to want to move really quickly because it does cool off quite fast. I like to put my jar back in the water because it makes cleaning the jar later a lot easier. And we're just gonna pour in all the way to the top, and not to the top here, but to the top of this rim right here. That is the proper way to fill these particular jars. And I know some of you like to use tins, and the same premise applies. Okay, so that is everything. I knew that this recipe was going to take 5 jars, and it did. And all we're going to do now is just let these cool. We're not going to put lids on it. We're not going to clean them off if we spilled. We're just going to let them cool off until they have solidified. While those are solidifying, we're going to take a paper towel and we're just going to wipe out the inside of the measuring cup and also the jar that we were using so that we can use it next time. If you wait to do this until it becomes solid, you are going to be a sad panda. So just do it right away while it is still warm and comes right out. And then you can use it for your next preparation and everything will be all nice and clean. And that, my friends, is how you make a salve. So these are nice and solidified. Last thing you want to do is, for these glass jars, we have a little plastic insert that goes on the top, and then just put your lid on. And of course, you're going to want to put a label on these. This particular one is an insect repellent, which is super effective, and I love it so much because it does not have DEET and it does not have citronella. So for those of you who are like super sensitive to citronella, this does not have that in there. You can go down in my description to my Etsy shop and buy a batch for yourself if you would like, and check out all of my other salves, balms, like a little bit of art thrown in there. Anyway, check out my Etsy shop down in the description box. Another thing you're gonna wanna do too is just take a nice dry paper towel and clean off the edges of your jar just in case you spilled anything. Like, I know we try to be so careful, but I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's just a tiny bit on the edge, and it's super important to just keep these really nice and clean. So I'm going to give you 2 really important tips to keep these lasting longer, and also just a note on essential oil. So I did talk to you earlier in the video about kind of how long you can expect a salve to last based on the infused oil and how old that infused oil is. You can extend the life of your jar by either using a clean applicator to, take the salve out and apply it to your skin, or by washing your hands and drying them thoroughly before sticking your finger into the jar. Any water that you introduce to this is going to make it super susceptible to going rancid. So it's very important that you keep your jar not in your bathroom cabinet where you're showering, okay? We do not want condensation growing on the inside of your jar. You can stick it in, I don't know, like a closet, your kitchen pantry. Just don't put it where it's going to get water, which is anywhere near your shower or anywhere near the top of your refrigerator. Okay, you guys? So just a couple of tips for you on how to extend the life of your salve. And I just wanted to really quickly talk to you about essential oils. Essential oils are super, super concentrated, right? So you do not want to just, I don't have any more here in front of me, but those little tiny jars of essential oils, you saw me pour some in here. When you're making a salve or a balm or a beard balm or a hair serum, or a massage oil, whatever you are making, you do not want to go above 3% essential oil. And 3% would be approximately 18 drops of essential oil per ounce of a carrier oil, right? So you would not want, if you're making this batch that we made today, you're gonna want to calculate how many ounces of oil you're using and do not put more than 18 drops per ounce. So, I have stories. I'm not gonna tell the stories today, but please do not use straight essential oils for anything. For anything at all. You're going to hurt yourself, you're gonna burn yourself, you're gonna poison yourself. Essential oils, I know it's a hot topic. A lot of people think you should never use them. I'm not in that camp, but you do have to be responsible, right? Because it's a very, very super concentrated volatile oil. And that is my last tip for making a standard salve. And that's it for today, you guys. We're gonna talk more about specific recipes and some balms. I've got some great videos coming up for you. And I think I would like to introduce you guys to my new dog. You can check my shorts. I have a new dog. He named himself Rusty. He's super, super cute. But I think I will introduce you here on the video so you can meet him and see him. But we will be getting back to just our regular videos. We are getting into canning season and harvesting season. So there's tons of things that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. So I will be seeing you again soon. Please subscribe to my channel, put in the comments down there. I respond to every single one. And every like that you give me, every comment that you give me helps to get this information to somebody else who needs it. And that's it, you guys. I will see you next time. Bye!